Hey yo, what's up, and welcome to my corner of the internet. So it's time to finally talk about an anime that came out of nowhere for me. At least I didn't hear any sort of projections on it. It just came out and then everyone else was talking about it, and at least I saw it on TikTok and so many other apps. And this anime definitely deserves the praise that it got.
はい、今日もママンとトゥギャザー始まるよ。
兄さん声ガラガ
大丈夫、これただの酒焼け。
Uramichi Onisan is probably the anime that'll stick with me for the rest of my life. Not because it did something overly special. I think the anime just came at a very poignant time within my life, and some of the humor and the deadpan ideas that followed through within this anime, I guess is really going to stick with me as I'm a new adult and I'm living my life, and the idea of dreams and making decisions and a lot of the angst. And this anime very often looks at a child's perspective on the adult life sometimes, and they would interweave it in such an interesting way, but I'm getting ahead of myself.
春子ちゃん、表面や面白さだけで男を選んじゃダメよ。見た目とか愛嬌だとかそんなもの、その魅力に反して将来的には一切何の役にも立た。
Uramichi Onisan, written by Gaku Kuze, came out in 2021, and literally it explores the concept of adults running a kid show, dealing with having the demand of being part of a production and having to always seem happy, always having to seem like altogether well put together adults. But really, each and every one of these adults suffers from some sort of issue: nervousness, anxiety, societal pressures, all sorts of different things. This anime is the crux of, hey, being an adult is difficult.
答えたい。
And unless you're lucky and or have something else that makes you get past more of the issues that comes with life, Uramichi Onisan is a stark reminder that within this life we all have struggles and we all have all sorts of problems. And it's not a dark anime. It has a very dark comedy feel to it. Also, this is a comedy. It's a dark comedy, but it has so many different ideas thrown into it, and it's such a blip. I don't know if it's getting a second season, though I would want to see more drama within it, because a lot of the humor was really well done, but I feel like this show would just go up so much more if there was a bit more plot and drama to it. And it added certain pieces, but it came later within the show. I do 100% recommend it, but I think it needs a little bit more into it.
ああ、冷たい冷たい。隙間から手入れんといて。無理無理。
いやー、ごめんね、浦道くん。ちょっと。
Along with its dark comedy, it's filled with a lot of random lessons that come in the conversations with children. Sometimes the children are teaching, and boy, those children are savage. Like the bars that they get off on the adults are insane, and I freaking love it. This show has a lot of hilarious jokes that'll make you laugh, and then the jokes that aren't funny somehow become funny because they know they're not funny. There's a character whose entire humor is toilet humor, and it's not funny, but the way he finds it funny is funny, and that was a lot of funnies. Regardless of that, I think Uramichi Onisan is a really good anime. I think it's something you should watch. It's short and sweet. I do wish they delve into more things because it's such a solid recommendation, but they don't necessarily drive into the drama. They don't necessarily delve more into what makes characters tick. They're somewhat vehicles for a lot of different societal pressures and the views of characters.
どうしたのかな。
ラスメントって
ね、お兄さんもよくわからないんだよ。
何？お兄さんは大人なのにわからないの？
Like there's one character, her entire deal is that she wants to get married, but she won't get married, and she basically has a deadbeat boyfriend. but she won't ever leave him. That's never really brought up. She's just a gag. And unfortunately, that makes her a little one-dimensional, but it is a conversation about how a lot of women feel like by a certain age they should be married and what happens to the women when they're not married. And a lot of the societal pressures are also brought out. And our main character, Uramichi, he basically was a gymnast.
11歳独身体操のお兄さんである体育大学出身元体操選手なだけあって体幹は安定しているが情緒は不安定
And he didn't get to his perceived goal. I'm sorry, I don't know how gymnasts go or do what they do, but it seems like he was a hot shot in college but didn't end up going any further with it. Though he likes to work out, he smokes, he has a very dark sense of humor. His facial expressions are hilarious.
筋トレが生かされるこの職場は僕にとって天職だったと思います。
新しい時代が来たワイルドなバスだ
This show does a lot of things great, and I like the basic idea of it. The idea isn't necessarily new because we have like the Truman Show and a lot of the nihilism that was in like Seinfeld, stuff like that. But the show is a breath of fresh air because the way it tells this story is very interesting. And I get to the very big point about this. Uramichi is very often very despondent, depressed, feeling lethargic, and feeling drained from the things that he has to do. But very often he ends up having a conversation with a child, giving some piece of advice that it feels like it's directed at you.
全然やる気出ない日ってごく頻繁にあるけど放っておいてもらえない。それはみんながお兄さんのこと好きだからじゃなくてね。誰か一人が輪を乱すと
But we're listening from the child's point of view. It feels like this weird thing where we're the children within the show and Uramichi Onisan is talking to us. It oftentimes comes to that moment where we sit there and we're looking at Uramichi explain adulthood, explain a lot of his struggles, but he also talks about persevering. This show can come off incredibly dark if you let yourself stay in the mood of how being an adult can be incredibly hard, taxing, and difficult, especially if you're not rich. I understand how you have to persevere, you have to get up every morning, you have to keep trying, you have to make sure that every day, even if it's not perfect, you gotta get out there and shoot your shot and do your best with it and do with what you got.
それでね、来週のコンサート行けるようになったよ。楽しみにしてるね。
ありがとうお兄さん。
It's interesting how this anime comes now as we live in a very different and difficult time, and I understand everyone goes through their own problems, but I just want to express, keep trying, keep doing your best, and take it one day at a time. I genuinely am rooting for you. I wish you the best of luck, and I genuinely believe that we all can be happy in this world.
大きな声でこんにち
ボンチョー
目を合わせないでください。
普通にひどい。
And I also recommend this anime. This is a great anime. It's a guilty pleasure. I think it's about 13 episodes. Just watch that, enjoy that, have a great time with it, and please take care of yourself. Have a great day. Peace. Oh, and also, please like, comment, and subscribe, and have an absolute great day, great week, great month, and an even better year.